In this video, we're going to talk about those most beloved things: sales tax, state tax, and how the heck do you do a donation in your private domain? Back with us is Amber Wright, and I'm just going to let you kind of take it away on this. Let's start with state taxes in the public or private, in the private.
Okay, so if we are organized as a private member association, we, as a faith-based organization, we are exempt from state taxes. It's really easy. So if we have a standard PMA, we do have some tax obligations, and I highly recommend that you speak with your CPA about it.
Perfect. Yep, that's great. So once we move into that faith-based organization, whether it's a private health association or a ministry or a church, then we are able to enjoy that mandatory exception and exemption, and it follows into your state as well.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, what about sales tax? This one is so interesting because there's different sales tax things, right? There's the sales tax that I pay on an item when I go buy something for my ministry. But then there's also the sales tax on, say, maybe a service that, let's say we have a faith-based contractor. And what else? Is that the two examples? Oh, yeah. So sales tax also on goods and say if I sold a bunch of supplements.
Yeah. So selling online, it's voluntary to collect sales tax and file that yourself. And then, as a ministry, as a faith-based organization, we're exempt. It's just the bottom line right there. We are so used to having the government integrated in everything that we're doing in any exchanges in business that it does take a little work on our part to make sure that that stays separated. There is a form that we can apply for and say we are a exempt organization, we need to be exempt from sales tax. And the states give that to their, the different types of nonprofits. So it's different in every state to go through this process. And I'm pretty sure it's on the Secretary of State website to get more information about how to become a sales tax exempt organization. I heard of when I believe another advisor had gone through this, and she said that she had to go through an appeal process and that it takes a while. So just giving a warning there, but it can be done.
I know for sure it can be done because back in my days as a server, a food server, we would have people come in that had a little card, and we would just take it to the manager, and then that sales tax would be taken right off the bill. So it can be done. And one of the things that I share with clients too, I say, if you have any doubts or questions, call up your local nonprofit and ask them questions. Okay, because we mirror them, we mirror the 501s. So we can get a lot of information from them and say, where did you go to get your sales tax exempt card? Yeah. Okay, good. So it can be done. Oh, go ahead.
I have a little factoid here that sort of came to me. This is a little bit off topic, but I had filed a 501c3 in the past. And one of the statements that I went through is that any members, any public persons can audit a nonprofit and ask for their financial records. And that's one of the, so that's one of the things about being a 501c3 is that all of your information is public information. When you're a publicly registered business, you have to follow by those public rules. So that's a big difference between the 508 and the 501c3.
Right. That has been the most case law, or much of the case law that I've heard has been kind of a real big deciding point when people have said they wanted information about the ministry. It was, you know, we want to find out your member lists, or we want to find out this information, and the court ruled against that because it wasn't a public company. Yeah, they can't see that stuff, but that's so interesting. Huh. So yeah, they should be happy to share information with us.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So call your local nonprofit, and if they don't want to tell you, say, well, actually, since you're a nonprofit, you're obligated to tell me these things about your organization.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
man.
interesting. And do remember that one of the reasons that we don't do a lot of information about this is because it is different state by state by state. And we're really busy helping people move into the private and not researching every state.
A lot of us advisors do business consults where we could make an agreement to help you out with all sorts of different types of business development, in addition to helping set up your PMA.
Perfect. And I think you do some of that stuff, right?
I do. Yeah. I first got into sales and marketing, and then while I was studying accounting, I did sales and marketing, and then it turned into more of the business development, how to hire and train teams, and how to write contracts, and how to create systems and processes within organizations, and using project management tools and all that fun stuff, and web design too. Yeah. So there's a lot of skills that I can help somebody who's starting a business.
Fantastic. Again, we will definitely have Amber's information in the show notes. So if you want to reach out to her for any of those things. Okay, last one, donations.
Yes.
So let's talk first on the inside the ministry side. Okay. So you have a ministry, I have a ministry, and we're accepting a donation. What do we need to do?
Okay. Well, essentially we don't need to, but we're able to provide a receipt to the donor that so I have mine. I'm going to read it out loud. Thank you for your generous donation to Layne. And I have date of donation, name of donor, and then donation type, cash or non-cash, which could be a like an asset or some sort of work or anything, so people can donate their time as well. So, dear donor, we are deeply blessed and honored by your contribution. Your tax-deductible donation allows us to be of service to individuals and the community as we fulfill our mission. So it says here, please retain this letter for your records as it serves as a receipt of your donation to the Layne Ministry. And many blessings, and then Layne. And then at the bottom, it says a donation made to a 508c1a, which is the IRS code, by the way, are tax deductible. Donors are welcome to fill out Form 8283 with the IRS for a tax deduction. So the responsibility for getting a tax deduction is on the donor's side. It's not on our side as the ministry. We can provide you this receipt and you can take it and submit it if you need to with the IRS, or use our ministry name as the place you sent the donation to. Does that help answer questions?
Yeah, I think it answered both.
Okay, great.
It was what to do on the ministry side, which is basically nothing other than keep your own good records and provide a donation receipt. And then on the donee side, the person who made the donation, they can file with that form, and so that it goes in for their taxes. Correct? Yes,
that's right. That's right. And I help file taxes for organizations, and there's an area where, oh, is it over $500? And then it asks more information about the where the money went to. So.
Great. Okay, so one little question has popped up too, because so a private health association is a form of, if you're a faith-based, is a faith-based organization as well, if you've chosen that route. It's a little different from my understanding with that receipt. In that, and I'll use myself as an example, I am going to not, I don't say anything on my swiping payments. I do have a super bill for my clients and it just says what they paid me, but that's a service. Okay. This is also another of the reasons, full transparency, that I went ahead and still filed, even though the association is taking care of a lot of my expenses. Have you heard anything along those lines that would make it different than what I explained?
Are you indicating that the clients that you help are donating with their contribution for receiving a service?
I say thanks for the contribution.
Okay, great. Yeah. So it's all about verbatim here. And this is where instead of, oh, I'm giving a sale or I'm providing a service for exchange of money, where we can have it set up a little differently, where we can use the word contribution is helpful, and then also donation is helpful as well. And we can have different membership levels. For instance, if you have a healthcare practice and you see your client somewhat regularly, they could have a payment plan that's a contribution plan, and that gives them this certain membership level with you. So it helps to, what these do is it helps to distinguish that we're a religious organization compared to a publicly registered business that's offering goods and services.
Perfect.
So it helps to distinguish what we do.
Right. I've long said that, when I learned about this and ministers, that verbiage and ministry, I said, oh my gosh, I minister to people all day long.
Yeah.
And especially with that spiritual based background, faith-based, chiropractors, universal intelligence, power made the body, heals the body. So it was a really easy fit for me, and I think for many, many healers. Well, anything else you think we should cover in the tough topics?
Yeah, I just looked up that form that I mentioned, and it's actually for non-cash charitable contributions over than 500. And so if somebody donates an asset like a vehicle, they would want to fill in this form. However, if it is just cash, they like a monetary donation, that's where when you file your yearly taxes, and then there's an area in tax filing that says, did you give a donation to a charity? And that's where you write the ministry's name in. Yeah. So more questions, talk to your CPA. And also, of course, I'm willing to help as well. You're welcome to reach out to me as well, too.
Fantastic. Hey, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your craft and your talent with the stuff that makes me want to cry. And helping all of our clients and people who are really, it is a big step. So, and this is one of the biggest ones. It's like this scary area of they're going to haul me off. So appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much as well, Layne. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.